Hi, everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new live stream, and welcome to Sunday afternoon here in Moscow. I thought I'd do another lunchtime live stream. I know it was very popular when I did it last week or during the week, and I thought I'd come back and do another one earlier. Also, it's a lot easier because my wife is not home right now. She's at work, and she's not a huge fan of the noise and how loud it is when I do a live stream later in the evening. So I hope a few of you enjoy this earlier time frame, depending on where you are in the world. I see there's also a few people already in the stream as well. So thanks for joining me. I thought we'd just have a bit of a chat and talk about life in Russia and life now in this apartment as of, well, now it's technically a week. No, it's what day did we move in? It's 9 days ago since we moved in officially. So we got the keys last Friday, well, Friday week. We actually had the keys a few days earlier so we could move a few things beforehand. We gave the keys back to the real estate agent and we took them officially on the Friday where there was actually a handover. So yeah, thanks everybody for joining. I know it's always a little bit short notice, my live streams, and I'm not overly consistent with when I should be doing them correctly, but I'm here. If anybody, by the way, wants to do any kind of donations, I'm not sure if most people are aware there's different methods that you can do it. A lot of people have asked me about this because I'm in Russia and YouTube has stopped paying ad revenue to people that watch. Well, people who are in Russia don't have ads shown to them. And there's no ad revenue for Russian creators who create videos that get watched in Russia. I know it's a little bit awkward how I'm explaining it, but basically, if you're a Russian creator who has predominantly a Russian audience, then you're not going to get any AdSense revenue, pretty much nothing. It's all reliant on people who are watching your YouTube from outside Russia, which then you'll get shown adverts. So depending on where you're watching in the world, you either get adverts or you don't, or perhaps you've got YouTube Premium and then you don't get ads anyway. But if I'm watching YouTube here in Russia, I don't see any ads. It's actually a bit of a bonus for people who live in Russia that they've stopped showing ads here. So you can actually watch content a little bit more consistently without getting ads and skipping ads and things like that. But basically, if you're in Russia, you can't now use Super Chat or Super Thanks as a way to pay a donation to the content creator. So what I did was I set up something called Donation Alerts, which is a donation platform which a lot of streamers use who do gaming streams or Twitch streams or whatever platform they're doing gaming on. And it works absolutely perfectly fine from around the whole world and then from also inside Russia as well. And a lot of Russians like to do it Russia to Russia. You know what I mean? Like if you're in Russia to a content creator here, and then people from outside Russia can use it as well. So that's called Donation Alerts. And that actually is an instant payment to the creator as well. It actually pays out essentially about 6 or 12 hours later. So it's not necessarily instant, but it's instant enough. The other way, I've now set up Boosty, which somebody asked me about. I didn't know too much about Boosty actually before maybe the last 3 or 6 months. So I've actually not got it in all of the descriptions of all of the older videos because I'd need to go back and change the descriptions. Boosty is also an instant payment platform as well, which is heavily used again by gamers and a lot of people who do predominantly only live streams. So that's an option also. And that's also an instant payment platform as well. And this is why a lot of Russian creators like to use it because there's not a waiting for instance, if you do a super chat, it comes to the creator in the next month's AdSense revenue, which for me, it doesn't really matter how people use the different platforms because it eventually gets to me. The way mine's set up is it's an Australian YouTube account, an Australian Google account. So it pays to an Australian bank account, and then I bring it back to Russia by my method that we've created or set up or are using. It's not something that I openly tell the world about, but because I don't want it to be taken away from what we're doing. So yeah, if anyone wants to do that, basically any donations go back into the channel, create more videos, pay for things like microphones, cables, lights, the streaming camera that I have. At the moment, basically, it's going towards the apartment. So I was able to fix the bathroom last week. Well, pretty much literally the same day as doing a live stream, I was able to fix a few things in the bathroom. If you do follow me on Telegram, I do post also photos daily. And when I go out and about, my most exciting photo today was the air vent in the kitchen. I actually managed to fix something myself, and I didn't need anyone to help me. I replaced the old air vent with a new air vent. I was thinking I could clean it and vacuum it, but it wasn't possible, so I just replaced it. But my tools that I own amount to only an IKEA toolkit, and that's pretty much it. I've now got a floor scraper or a Stanley knife scraper because I wanted to fix the flooring. The tiles have got a lot of, I don't know, like it's not necessarily dirt, it's just stuff stuck to the tiles that even when you clean the floor and scrub the floor, it's not coming up. So I fixed that. So yeah, there's a few people here live. We've got 18 likes on the live stream, which is amazing for doing it so unscheduled like this. There's also 48 of you watching. So thank you if you're here to spend a little bit of your time with me today. So that's super nice. If anyone does do donation alerts, by the way, you do have the option of putting your name when you do a donation, or you can do it as anonymous. Now, anonymous does frustrate me a little because I never know who it is. But you're more than welcome to do anonymous on there. If you do donation alerts, I think with super chats, you don't really have that option. It has to be your channel name that gets used. So Dylan's Adventures, hello. Huge fan of your videos, and here from England, United Kingdom. Good to see you. What's happening with Rory McIlroy in the Masters? He had a not so good day yesterday. I was hoping he's going for the Grand Slam, right? But he's going to have to wait another year, as he keeps saying, another year, another year. Even Tiger Woods didn't do so great. So yeah, nice introduction. Yeah, there is an option for you to put an intro video before the live stream. And I pretty much use my channel intro on there always. So you can't really choose any video for that. It's only certain ones. I don't know how it determines which videos you can use as a channel intro. So TW, hello. How's it going? Hello, everyone. Yes. Commando Crossfire. It's 4 a.m. here. Yeah, I guess that's early morning for America or Canada. So yeah, sorry if it's a different time. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me see if I can look to the other screen. Andrei. Oh, здравствуйте, Andrei. Hello. Greetings from St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg, Walker. Perhaps you have a YouTube channel. Dragon, hello. Dragon Rider 404. Big fan here. I like people's YouTube channel names and where people have actually changed it and created something. Luckily, not many companies advertise. Well, that's handy if you're in Belarus and you don't have many ads. I don't know. Did you watch, Erica, did you watch my recent video where I went to Cheshnok? Now, Cheshnok is a discount supermarket chain that they've opened here in Russia. I went to the 25th store opening in Russia, or in Moscow anyway. And about 65% or 70% of the items in that supermarket were Belarus products that have been brought to Russia, and the actual companies from Belarus, but they don't have stores there. They've only got stores in Russia now. Good afternoon, Russell. Yes, don't forget to give a little help to for the channel to grow. Yeah, thumbs ups, likes are the easiest way. Commenting on videos, commenting on live streams. I guess sharing videos with other people. If you see something that you like, share it into things like other social media platforms. I know sometimes people share the shopping center videos and supermarket videos into Twitter, and things like that. Yeah, go for it. Hello. Greetings, Mr. Russell. Thank you. I guess that's Alex. Greetings from Ho Chi Minh City. Matt, how's it going? Strandberg. In Australia, we've got a store in the shopping centres called Strand Bags, which is basically a handbag luggage store. Pretty much in any shopping centre in Australia, there's a Strand Bags. Have you managed to fix many things in your flat? Okay, so basically the bathroom things are the main things we had to fix. We had no choice. So that was the leaking towel rail. We could have just switched it off and not used it and, be done with it. But we actually really needed to replace it because it's basically water that runs under pressure through the snake of the towel rail. We had to fix it, replace it, take it off, get it replaced. So yeah, we did that instantly because we had to. Also, it makes a nice warm bathroom at the same time. So we have fixed the toilet because that wasn't working. It was working when we went for the initial viewing of the apartment twice. And then when we moved in, the first thing we pressed the toilet and it didn't work. So yeah, that's done. And I've replaced the air vent, which is not really critical, but it just looks better that it's a new air vent. The thing we need to do now is the curtains in the lounge room, because we've took down they weren't really curtains that were there before. We've got the rods there that we could use to put curtains on, but we want to get a different track system on the curtains. That's the next most critical thing, because you need dark curtains because of the amount of sunlight we're going to have now coming into summertime. It gets it gets brighter much earlier, and it stays lighter much later. I think that all makes sense. So yeah, that's next on the list. And it's just a matter of we've got a money tree on our balcony, so we can just cut a few leaves, a couple of money off the money tree. We wish that was that on the balcony. Mr. Jamo, hello. Mr. Jamo, 10 degrees. Hello from Melbourne, Vinny. I was watching the Eagles finally win a game against Richmond earlier. And then I don't know what channel I was watching it on, so I watch it streaming on the internet. And then it's basically through like TNT Sports, but then it's actually the Australian, I think it's either Fox or Channel 7 feed. I don't know. I think it's the Fox feed. And then they were like, the players went up the race and they're like, we'll come back after the break with the club song in the change rooms. And then TNT went to another station. But it was a good win. It kind of looks like Eagles could win that way every week. And then finally, after 4 rounds, they've figured out how to win. So yes, that chain isn't in Belarus. Yeah, Chezhnok. Yeah, the guy was super nice. He actually commutes between Minsk and Moscow every week. Now, it's about a 6-hour drive from Moscow to the border. So I'm pretty sure he might drive it and occasionally fly when he has to fly, but easier to... Well, it's not necessarily easy. A 6-hour drive is not easy, but it's quite easy in terms of being able to cross the border like that. Have you heard about the floods in Orenburg? Yes, Martin and his family are experiencing. Absolutely, yeah, I know Martin. Not personally, but I know him through YouTube. I know him through Telegram. We do chat and do voice calls with each other. I really want to get him on a live stream if I can just arrange a time which would be more suitable for him. He's got a lot of things going on, so I don't really want to overstress him with another thing because... he's got a lot of stuff going on. So I've just sent him some kind words and some messages of support and anything that I can kind of help him with. I don't know, somehow, but yeah, I know he has set up different ways to help him. And then, of course, now he's living at his wife's parents' house, I think. So could you make a video of Afia Mall and the skyscrapers? Dylan, I am going to be doing that very soon. I don't know what day and when and how, but probably one day this week, probably, depending on the weather. I really want nice blue sky day, so it looks even more nicer than when you go on a bit of a dull, overcast day. I've actually never made... I think I've walked through Afia Mall a couple of times on my original Moscow Under Sanctions, shopping center under sanctions videos. I really should go back and look at which one it is, and then I could change the thumbnail and be more title specific. Hello from Arbat Street, Clem. You're in Arbat Street. I wonder if you're just staying there or you live there. That would be crazy if you live right there. That would be amazing. I imagine I could come and make a Russian apartment tour there in Arbat Street. Do I speak Russian to interact with people? I speak very, very broken Russian. Enough to get by. Emergency Russian. I can order a beer. I can get the shawarma guy to make shawarma, which I had yesterday. Sergey, hello. Здравствуйте. Good afternoon to you. Sergey, nice. Yeah, so I know enough Russian to get by. I would like to know more conversation Russian, which would be kind of just even easier, you know. Afia Mall and the skyscrapers. It's in Moscow City, and the metro station is Международная station. Now they're calling it, well, Delevoye Center, I know for sure, but now they've got the Testovskaya station is now called Moscow City Station. Yeah, there's where the D4 goes right through there, so I can get on the D4 from Aprelivka and get off at Moscow City, which is really... Oh, you can actually get off at Minskaya. What's the station or two before Moscow City, and then change the yellow line and go to Afia Mall, to go to Delevoye Center that way. If you get off at the one at Moscow City, it's kind of the other side of Moscow City, but it's really the same area. Were you beaten up by Russian handlers? I don't know what... It's on this side, isn't it? I don't know what that's from. It's not as bad as it was a few days ago. You might notice from the last live stream, I've had a nice shave and I look a lot younger and smarter. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like a maybe I scratched myself in this when I was sleeping or something. I'm not 100% sure. Thanks for the streams. How often do you think about the Roman Empire? Not very often. Unless you're talking about Rome as in Italy. How often do I think of Italy? You visit a lot of shopping centers, certainly, and I think Afia Mall is a great place to visit. Highly recommend. Yeah, I've definitely been there a lot. I've also been to the Expo Center, where you actually end up walking through the shopping center to get to the Expo Center. So I absolutely know the place. I've been there a ton of times. And Anya is in Poland. Polska. Warsaw, I think. I'm not sure what that is. I guess it's Polish language. Plastic Russian, hello. Sorry for not being so active on Telegram since yesterday. I had a long day going out yesterday, and then I tried to watch the golf last night. Tried with varying success. Can you criticize the government, or will you get locked up? I mean, look, it's like in Australia, right? Talking about the Australian government. You can absolutely talk about them. Getting locked up, I think there's definitely an ability to talk about the things that are right and wrong with the government, and things that could always get done better. You know, like they could fix the potholes in the road. They could get the street sweepers out after all the snow melts. They could fix the street lights across the road. The sand pit in my playground by my apartment here needs new sand. That's some problems that we need to deal with. No need to answer if the question is too rude. Yes, I don't ever talk about the earnings from YouTube because it's pretty much the one thing that no YouTuber really talks about. I mean, there's occasional videos on YouTube, but it's not very well spoken about. It's kind of one of the taboo topics of YouTube that most or all YouTubers don't talk about. You know, it's not a secret. There's ways you can look it up. The ways that you can look it up isn't particularly accurate, though, because it's obviously everyone's in a different niche. The ad revenue projections are different for every type of niche of videos. Yeah, I do rely a lot on things like donations, though. Donation alerts, super chats, super thanks, boosties. There's also my SberBank. I pinned the comment, but it's pinned it a bit strange today. You know, literally, if I get an instant donation, I can instantly go and fix something with the apartment rather than having to, you know, spend a few weeks saving for it. Hello, hi from Moscow, Alex. Thank you for your happiness you give us. Afia Mall is interesting. It is. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a multi-level shopping center in the absolute smack middle of all the high-rise buildings. Yeah. Live. Oh, you live in Arbat Street, Clem. Wow. What a spot. What a spot. The observation deck on top of the skyscraper is very cool. Yeah, Dylan, I've been up there a few times. The last time I went was when Ben was here from New Zealand, and we went up there for the unlimited ice cream. There's the world's tallest ice cream factory, isn't it? The world's tallest chocolate factory. It's not a cheap ticket to go up there, though. I mean, in terms of like a tourist attraction, for locals, and if you take a couple of kids, it's, not a cheap thing as an attraction to do. I really think it'd be nice if they can have a lower price for that ticket. I'd like to go back and make another video up there and talk about it, but I just can't justify the price. It's about 1,800 or 2,000 rubles for a ticket. And I can't justify paying these prices, especially when I'm filming and not really enjoying it, without my camera. It's kind of two different things. When you go there filming things and you go out with an intention of making a certain video, you tend to be looking through the lens of the camera more than you are actually enjoying the place that you go to. Why are your videos, Just Jim, let's read this. Why are your videos so much in common with Western YouTube channels who cover China's tourism? We know you are promoting Russia in the same capacity with these YouTubers. That's interesting. I don't really see any correlation with Chinese tourism. I go out and film things that are pretty much things that were never on YouTube. And that's why people always ask, about things like the Pitorichka supermarket videos. Pretty much all the chains of supermarkets in Moscow I've covered. And people ask a lot about, those videos. And, and I explain that, look, before I made those tours of those supermarkets, they weren't on YouTube. And no one had a video of, specific places and specific tours like I did. And, now there are. And that's why they got so much popularity, because it was a unique video that appealed to an audience. And, regardless of which country people are watching that from. Thank you for whoever's clicking all the hearts. Thank you so much. I love seeing those hearts and firecrackers go up on the screen. You can't show them on the stream, though, but yeah, I can see them when someone clicks it. Thank you. Yeah, so, I'm not necessarily promoting Russia. I mean, maybe I am by showing the good side of things. I mean, at the end of the day, I walk to my local supermarket, which is, I can almost see out the window, literally almost see it. And it got 1 million views. And that's my local shop, less than a few hundred meters down the street from my house. I went there, I filmed it, and I came home. I mean, imagine how simple YouTube seems when you think about that in your head, right? And that's it. That's what I did. Thank you so much, Commando Crossfire. I visited a cool airplane museum when I visited Moscow a few years back. I think it's a little outside of, it's in Monino, which is in the north of Moscow. Now, Maxim, who's the guy that I made the video with about the trams, he wants to also take me to that Monino airplane museum. Now, I know he knows the public transport network very well. We just have to plan a day when we can meet a little bit earlier in Moscow, like, I don't know, 9 a.m. or something, 8 or 9 in the morning, then go out there and spend the day and then come back, because it's a good few hours. Well, probably from where I live by public transport, it's at least 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours from where I live to get there physically, and then obviously to come back. Yeah, maybe it's the Monino one, I think. I'm almost certain that's the one you're talking about. Where I live in the southwest of Moscow, further down the highway, there is Kubinka, which has actually got a tank museum. And it's actually one of the world's most known tank museums for people who like tanks. And I actually went to that the first year I came to Moscow 10 years ago. I went with a neighbor from the building too, who neither of us spoke. Well, I didn't speak Russian. He didn't speak English. But we both like going to see tanks. And that was like 10 years ago. Not obviously aviation, but definitely military related stuff. So probably, thank you for the donation alerts. Sorry, super chat. Thank you so much. And I guess you're in Canada too. Commando Crossfire. Thank you. That's amazing. Yeah, I do want to go there, and I am going to try to go there with Max or Maxime, because he's a super nice guy and he speaks English and he's just got knowledge oozing out of all these sorts of things. Now I've gone past where it lands on the questions. Good Russell from Greenwood in the US. 7 a.m. Sunday. Are you going to be going to supermarket videos and malls? Of course I'm going to be making more, William. Yes. My video that'll come out on the channel later this afternoon or evening, maybe in about 4 or 6 hours. I went to a flea market yesterday in Moscow, and I filmed a flea market tour, or in Australia we call them swap meets. They call them, what do you call them other than flea markets? I forgot the other names for these markets, like secondhand stuff, and I went to one in Moscow yesterday, and that will be on the channel later. The biggest problem with the video is I can put them straight on the channel. Literally, I know it's now uploading while I'm doing this live stream. And the thing that I like to do is actually go and correct the automatic subtitles. And then you can actually add other countries' subtitling. You basically correct the English one, and then you can I add 71 countries of subtitles. You can actually do auto subtitling, but then it's based around what Google took my words as, and sometimes there's spelling mistakes, and especially words that are not particularly easy to say in English. So yes, definitely more supermarket and mall videos are going to come very soon. But today there will be a new video, not immediately after the live stream, but a few hours later, as soon as I can work out this subtitling. I do like to put it on the video channel straight away, and then I get so many comments about subtitling. So car boot sales. Thank you, Plastic Russian. That's what they call them in England, car boot sales. In Australia, we call them swap meets. Oh, and Russian Travels is here. I just see now, because I'm a little bit behind. You can do so much there. Really recommend you can do the skyscraper tour, the shopping center, and the metro station tour. Yes, it would be a very long video if I did all of them in one video, though. But I can certainly... Actually, the nice video that I did was when I walked from across the other side of the embankment and caught the metro and went to Vnukovo Airport. And that's a nice actual walk to do, too. From that opposite side of the embankment, where is, Moscow City. Is there a drone attack so recently? Not that it's particularly relevant. Yes. Actually, I've seen the building where the panels were. It was basically just some glass panels that were damaged. It wasn't really nearly as much as probably what Western media showed it on the news. Kolomisko Park. Beautiful place, and it's near you. People love it. Yes. That's another place I can go to. And have you moved in as well. I've just done a video of the inside of my place, so I'll upload this afternoon. Let's get on a live soon. Yes, let's figure out a time and date and place and things like that. And we can just also test that it works nicely from your end as well. Ostankinska, Bashnaya is a good place too. Ostankina Tower. Is that Ostankina Tower? There's also the pond across from there. There's the nice donut place. You can also get the tram to the backside of Vedenhar, if that's the same area. There's also always can do things better for its people. A good government is receptive to people, good ideas, and acts accordingly. Yes, right. But, there's also, I don't know, there's a long list of things they need to fix. Even in the town where I live, we're not living in a beautiful, not everything's perfect here either. Your crazy idea price seems low. Most were 8 million plus. Right. But the thing was, my crazy idea thing, Erica, was based around the amount of money we need to give to not have a mortgage. Of course, I already was forming a deposit as well. And then the rest would be then come from the crazy idea fan funding idea, which is 44 rubles and 44.06 rubles per subscriber on the whole channel. That would clear out everything. Do you hang out with other English-speaking YouTubers in real life? I haven't necessarily done that. I speak to them through Telegram and basically through YouTube like this. So where you see Plastic Russian and Russian Travels in the chat, I've talked to them and chatted to them via voice calls. Actually, Plastic Russian was on a live stream briefly last week. I have actually met other YouTubers in Moscow. Anna, forget her, Sasha. She doesn't really do YouTube though. She just does some videos that she puts on the channel. But I met them a few times in Moscow. Commander Fire again. Thank you for the super chat. People in the West are extremely unaware of life in Russia. In a walk to your local store is so wonderful to show real humans live there. Right. That's kind of what I do. And the thing is, though, a lot of people kind of go, oh, but there's no people in the shop. Oh, people don't have any shopping. The thing is, where I live immediately here, there's 7 supermarkets. And I've said this many, many times, within walking distance. There's one even in my building downstairs, which I've covered 2 or 3 videos of now. And then the Pitorishkas, there's now 5 of them in my region. So I can walk to 4 other ones other than the one across the... Well, there's 2 of them immediately where I live. One that way, one that way. But the thing is, because they're open 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day, 7 days a week, people are coming shopping all the time. There isn't really that traditional shopping time in Russia. You know, people are doing things and people work, you know, whatever schedule they work. They may not go shopping till 7 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. I mean, last night I went to the shop at 9:45 in the p.m. to grab something, you know, so I wasn't there the other 12 hours of the day. So it's very hard, you know, when you read comments about the shop is empty, nobody there. On the way home yesterday from filming, I went to Globus hypermarket to grab something. And then I actually went to the Globus cafe and had some dinner on the way home. And, you know, the supermarket was packed, but I didn't film because I didn't go there to make a video, right? I just went there to walk through and shop and come home. So, yeah, thank you again for the super chat. I appreciate yeah, and I can read them out as quick as they come on the screen too. It's the same with donation alerts. I have a text box where I see it. Do you hang? Okay, so Stankin TV Tower is supposed to be amazing. There's a glass floor. Yes, Dylan, I've been up there twice. Once on my own, and then once with a friend of a friend who wanted to go there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Not many people know that as a tourist attraction. Mostly locals know about it. From Fremantle. Whoa, I went to John Curtin, Nicole, just in case we don't know each other. Really love watching your videos. I would love to visit Russia one day. I think one of your best videos was the bazaar in Uzbekistan. Yes, not enough people watch those few videos in Tashkent. I filmed the one actually from my catching the taxi and then going on the flight to the hotel to go watch the football. I watched the Matildas play. And that's actually the reason of going there for a few days. Then imagine they played 6 days later in Melbourne and it's like 50,000 people, sold out stadium. And we were there, just 30 Australians who I didn't know. I met them literally right there. And then I met the Australian ambassador to Russia there. Yeah, I went to John Curtin. My uncle lives in South Fremantle, further down the way. Fremantle Markets. My wife loves the coffee from Fremantle Markets. Yeah, Kolomosko Park is beautiful. Yes. Do you think aliens exist? No. Sorry. I don't. Not into all that jibber jabber. Every nation has the government it deserves. Well, that's interesting. It's a fairly interesting comment. Aliens actually absolutely exist in Russia. Why do you think Russia is so invested in the space program? Well, they wanted, and yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before, was the day of the astronaut? Building a house in Spa. Nice. Thank you for watching. Stankin Tower is amazing. Yeah, it's a pretty cool place. And there's really not a lot of people there whenever you go there compared to the one in Moscow City. Definitely less visited. So sunny there and so many activities. Yes. Greetings from Orenburg. So yeah, Russian Travels, if anyone doesn't know, is a British person living in Orenburg in, I guess, provincial Russia with his wife and family. And at the moment, they're going through some terrible flooding. So if anybody does want to follow Russian Travels, you can join his channel, type it into search. And yeah, he's a new YouTuber as well, a new content creator who has got some challenges right now. I wouldn't, I don't like, when I worked on cruise ships, we didn't like to call things problems. We called them challenges. The cruise lines want you to kind of word things a lot differently than saying, not so nice words. MG Motorsports, hello. G'day. Yes, I say g'day a lot. It's hard to say it when you're in Russia. Not sure if you've already visited, but I highly recommend visiting Zinograd, an art play in Moscow. I think I've been there, not too far from Kuskaya Moscow metro station. Lots of cool galleries and fairs. Is that the one that's across the street from Kuskaya metro station, Anton? I think that's the one you're talking about. I've also been to the other place where it was an old factory with red bricks, and then there's some little shops and cafes there. I went to the barbecue festival there last summer, I think it was. That's not the same place, but it's very similar in another part of Moscow. Commando, so nice of you to do super chats. Friends of mine don't like Russia. Now, I don't like saying the word hate either. I say heavily dislike. And my wife doesn't like me when I correct her and say that. I hate this. I hate that. You heavily dislike it. They heavily dislike Russians, but couldn't find it on the map. Don't know what flag looks like and refuse to believe that they were the first in space. Yeah, have you ever watched, was it Jay Leno used to do street talk or street walking? And they used to do those things where they had like an easel with a map of America, and people got given like a stick to point a certain state out in America, and they couldn't. And then they couldn't even recognize like the different political leaders in America. If you ever haven't seen, I'm sure it was Street Walk on Jay Leno. If you ever watch some of them on YouTube, it's just quite funny that people don't even that live in America don't know where Florida is or California is on a map. Yeah, very similar. Yes. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people obviously think there's like, what do you call this? What are those things called? Where it's like it didn't happen, like when the Americans land on the moon, like the flag was standing up too much, and then the reflection in his goggles and things like that. Conspiracy theories. Watching from Spain before my summer vacation into North and South Ossetia in June. How about doing a video on the main airports? Well, the main airports of Moscow, you mean? And Andrew, there's a really cool cafe at Domodedovo Airport. It's not in the airport. It's actually a building in the car park down the street that's got a cafe in it that predominantly the workers of the airport use. And I should go there and make that video. It's pretty much a whole day out to get over there and back, but that would be kind of cool. And you're in Spain. I can't read Russian. So if you're typing in Russian, I'm sorry. I wish you a speedy recovery. Yes. Could be unblock me on your channel. What's going on? Really good YouTuber. I wanted to ask you something. What's your favorite brand of water in Russia? Maybe do a video on this. Yes, the pine cone forest one my wife loves to drink. Actually, we get most of our water from Krasnobyle downstairs, and at the moment they've got some strange brand. I don't know the name of it even to explain it to you, but we just don't like it. And then they had Chernogolovka bottled water, which is really the same price. And then the pine cone one we buy in that 3-liter jug. And my wife likes that one as well. You do a lot of supermarket. I would recommend to specifically try out different brands of water. Yeah, I'm not a big water fan personally to drink water, but I'll drink it, I don't see big differences from one to the other. And it'd be very hard for me to be critical on the different taste of waters. Why do you? I love Russia, but I don't like Pitorichka. Why do you like Pitorichka? I like the fact that there's 20,000 of them in Russia. I think there's more than 20,000 now, 21 or 22,000. I like the fact it's down the street from where I live. I like the fact they've got the garlic bread for 60 rubles. I like the fact that it's just convenient. And that's the thing with supermarkets in Russia, you take for granted. The fact that there is supermarkets, one in your building, one in the next building, one in the building over, one down the street. Whereas in Australia, you've got to get in a car and drive somewhere. And you go to pretty much just a mainstream supermarket, Coles or Woolworths. Okay, now there's Aldi, there's IGA, but in Russia, you can walk to a supermarket. And even if you live in the center of Moscow, you can walk to a supermarket somewhere. And almost everywhere people live, there's a shop within this walking distance. So, yeah. Do you miss Australia? Do you do surfing? I don't do surfing. No, I used to go boogie boarding or bodyboarding. That's pretty much all I can do. I miss my family. I miss Sunday roasts. A lot of things that maybe not everybody else misses. Putin doesn't pay me anything monthly. Maybe he'll send me a donation alerts and a comment, and I'll read it out. Maybe someone who wants to put his name as the instead of anonymous and write your own name, you can write his name. But I don't get anything, E. Perez, from him. Nothing. Not a ruble. Not a ruble. At all. We are fine. Hypermarkets are filled with groceries. Mercedes with BMWs around. Do not park. Western sanctions do not. Thank you, Vitaly. Yes. I just did copy and Google Translate. Nancy, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you so much. That's very appreciative of you, Nancy. No comment, but I appreciate you doing a super sticker. I wonder if Vladimir will send me donation alerts. He can't do super chats because he's in Russia, right? So he's going to have to do donation alerts or SberBank or Boosty. So if he does, I'll let you know. Now I can't find my thing again every time this happens. The whole world loves your cool videos. Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much. Have you tried the monorail? Yes, there is actually a video on my channel of the monorail, specifically about that monorail. And I went that day to make video about different types of public transport in Russia. And I couldn't figure out how to make it all gel in one video. So I just went on the monorail. I went out there to Videnha to show that there's trains, buses, metros, everything in that one place. Bashnaya is tower. So yeah, Stankana Tower. Thank you. You're a really good YouTuber. I guess I'm reading that 3 times. How do you feel about the situation in Russia? I've been here 10 years. So obviously things have changed. Some things haven't changed. Some things have changed. So, it's hard to express like the feelings about living here until you live here on a daily basis, right? And you don't like this, you like this, you don't like this. Gaz, I'm going to be making a video very, very, very soon. Now, if you know about Izmailova market, I just mentioned earlier that I'm going to have a video on the channel of a flea market. And now I'm torn between putting the title as I went to Moscow's largest flea market and then saying Izmailova vernissage, or I'm going to put I went to Moscow's other Kremlin, because it's called Izmailova Kremlin as well, right? Izmailova market. So that is the next video on the channel. Yes, absolutely. And also, who sent me a donation alerts? Where is it? Anonymous, of course. 10 days ago. Please go to Izmailova Bazaar. Izmailovsky Bazaar. Anonymous sent a donation to say to go there. I can still see because 1 day ago, 7 days ago, 10 days ago. So yes, Gaz, absolutely. You're going to see that if you want to watch it without subtitles, it'll be on the channel very soon. If you want to see it with subtitles, it'll be on the channel later. 10 or 15-minute walk. Anton. I'm not sure which one that was. Aliens do exist. His name's Joe Biden. Google him. Yes, lots of red bricks there. Oh, you're in Bali. Johnny, Bangkok, in Bali. Oh my gosh. We were in Legian back in October, or no, October, November. We stayed a few nights in Legian, and then back in March, we went over to Gili Air, which was beautiful. We spent a few weeks over in Gili Air. Gave you $400. Yes. Actually, this is the thing. See, Travik, I see your super chat. Thank you. Last time someone commented that they gave you $400 or something to go to Ismailova Market. I'm not sure if that was particularly serious or not, but how do you feel about this? Yeah, no, I remember reading that, and I haven't had any $400 donations. If I did, the curtains would be hung. There'd be a new microwave in the kitchen. The squeaky floor in the lounge room would be fixed. And I'd make a video just about that. Yeah, I know there was a couple of donation alerts that were sent about Ismailova Market. I don't know if that's the same person or not, just somebody that people want me to go there. But yeah, definitely not $400. So I'm not sure who, unless they've given like a few donations for the last year. I don't know. Has inflation sanctions affected you? Only banking sanctions. So I can't use my Australian card here. But we've figured out ways around that, and people did figure it out a year ago, 2 years ago. So yeah, we definitely figured it out. Hide the current comment and click. See, Travik, are you planning to explore outside of Moscow? Well, I live in Moscow region, so that's outside of Moscow already. To go further than where I live is a little more challenging because you've got to convince my wife about going outside of Moscow more. She was very kind to let me go to Tashkent and Uzbekistan for a few days to go watch the football. So yeah, it's up to my wife really. See, Tavik, not really up to me as much. So thank you for the super, I guess that's Swedish kronas, because I've had SEKs before. Thank you. Thank you so much. You should try water from Kolonka. Oh, Kolonka. Yes. Avon more milk. I've got a video on the channel about going to a Kolonka. There's one across the road from our building. Artisan water. It tastes very good and good for you. It's very cold water though. Yeah, my wife was in that video too. One of the very few videos on the channel is of my wife going to get some water from the Kolonka. And we actually use the empty bottles from the pine cone forest water bottles to fill it up. Moonlight, hello. He who visits South Ossetia will not be able to enter Georgia. I'm not sure about that. But thanks for... could you please do some plane spotting at Sheremetyevo? That's 2.5 hours away from where I live. It's not. I live 12 minutes from Vnukovo Airport. So going to Sheremetyevo to see airplanes, that's a long way. If someone plans to move to Russia, what would you recommend? Yes or no? Stanislav, I would suggest you come on a holiday first. Come on maybe a few weeks or a month to maybe whatever city you think you want to go live in and see what it feels like, see what the vibe is like, see if you feel comfortable, and then decide about moving. Don't just get on the plane and with a one-way ticket, because not everything's always what you think, right? So that's probably my number one recommendation. Come first for a holiday or a tour or whatever you're going to do, and then decide. That's the thing, right? I mean, my wife doesn't like all the shops that we've got near us either. She goes to certain ones only and not others. Completely inferior bound to what we have on the Far East. Yeah, I guess that's just getting used to the local shop. It's like my wife likes fasol downstairs. It's called beans in Russian, fasol. And I don't really like it. I like the fact I know the staff there. They're super friendly. It's just a few steps from my door, but I don't really like the store. So thank you, Nelly. Hello and thumbs up to everybody. Yes, we got 110 thumbs up on the live stream. This is true. When I lived in Russia, we had a shop below a 20-story building and a pharmacy if you wanted to just go out. Yes, exactly. Absolutely right. Yeah, there's stores in the buildings, or you can go further, go to a shopping center. Garbushka. Yes, used to go to a place called Garbushka by the name as, yes, it's still called Garbushka. And I've got a video on the channel about that place as well. It's an electronics market. Garbushka. I think if you type that into Google, it has to come up, or at least if you open my channel and search for it. It's early in Wisconsin. I'm working on my house too. Always something to replace because it breaks. Yes, Nancy, that's the whole thing. It's really, we don't really have anything else that's technically broken, I don't think now. Oh, well, the door. But we didn't know that was broken until the mirror came off the door. So did I show this? Let me see if I can swing the camera around. Yeah, you can see it right there. So there was a mirror glued on the door. Where's the arrows? Where's my finger? There's a mirror glued on the door. And until that came off, we didn't know that the door was broken. We thought the door broke when the mirror came off, but it didn't. Oh, that's kind of me. Let's do that a bit smoother. Whoa, there we go. And then down a little. So yeah, it's just another thing to add to the list of things that need fixing, like you say, or replacing. What's TV like in Russia? Perfectly fine. My wife watches it. I don't watch a whole lot of it. We did watch The Voice. Was it Friday night? We watched The Voice on TV Friday night. I can watch that because it's singing. There's a cable car being built in Vdenha Sergei. It's been being built for the last about 2 years, and I'm still waiting for it to open. They've got everything almost there. Maybe this summer they'll get it open, possibly. But it's kind of there, but it's not open yet. Yeah, Australia, we need a car. Absolutely do. Yes. Because I fell in love with a Russian lady. Anthony, that's my dad's name too, by the way. That's my answer. I fell in love with a Russian, and she magnetized me to Moscow, Moscow region where we live. Yeah, the floods, William. So the best way to follow about the floods is to go over to Russian Travel's YouTube channel. And Martin is posting videos literally daily about, because he lives right there where a lot of the flooding, which you're probably seeing on TV, is happening. Is it dangerous to go further in Moscow? Why does your wife not want you to go? No, well, she's got to approve my spending, basically. Unless I have an angel or I cut a few leaves off my money tree in the balcony, my wife has to pay for everything. So she's the one that holds the purse. So no, absolutely can go further. I've been to, I was in Kaluga about a month ago. I only went for the day there, but I was able to go and make a video there at a farmer's market in Kaluga. Palestinian, hello. Really enjoy your videos from Montreal. Au revoir. I'm planning to visit Russia in June, July. How is the weather? That's summertime, Anna. It's very nice weather. Beautiful weather. I mean, today's beautiful. It's cloudy, though. But it's still beautiful outside. 14 Celsius today. Thank you. Oh, you know I can't ever read your... Oh, it's in red. I wonder why it's in red. Binzamilcha Shujishal. Maybe you've got a shorter name that I can just call you whenever you do the super stickers. I wonder why is it in red for everybody? It's on blue on the chat, and then on the screen it's red. I wonder why it's red. But thank you so much. I'm always thinking that donation alerts doesn't work or isn't working. What's going on with donation alerts? It should work. Russell, tell me about any of your travels in the Odintsova region of Moscow. Also, will the metro line at Opinuka take you directly to the Solaris Mall? No, it doesn't. So Odintsova is basically on the other side of, well, it's actually not that far from me. I went to Lesnoy Garodok and went to the Pivaldi restaurant. That's still in Odintsova, I believe. I want to go to the volleyball. They've got a volleyball stadium there where the men's and women's Odintsova team play volleyball. I just need to find the right schedule for when that's on and go there. But yes. So yeah, from Vnukovo Airport, you're going to take a bus to Solaris. The 911 bus, 911. So basically, when you walk out of the terminal, walk across the street, literally, you'll see the metro entrance. And then there's another street, and there's a bus stop where everyone's waiting. And the bus 911 will come past there. It goes back onto the highway, Kiev Highway, then down to Solaris or Salarevo metro station and bus station. And then the mall is right there as well. And the metro, the red line metro is there. I think the Vnukovo metro line is yellow, I think, isn't it? Have you heard of the new metro stations that opened on the light green line? I think they're the two in the north of Moscow, right? I think that's the right ones that you're talking about. And then they're going to be opening the red line one, Potapova, later this year. No, the shopping mall, the supermarket hasn't opened. And I've got friends who are going to let me know when it opens. The problem is they'll open it without telling anybody. And because they tend to open a few days or a week earlier and just let it open, and then they do an official opening. Yeah, that was the Eurospar supermarket that was going to open in Kuzminki Mall. Electric scooters, yes, they're everywhere, and it's open and ready. Are they annoying or a great way to move around town? Yeah, they're very well promoted by the government too. Hugely promoted by the government. I think they're great, but I do see that there are issues with mindless riding. Yeah, it's basically all the teenagers and kids who want to just basically ride the life out of them and not necessarily wreak havoc, you know what I mean? But yeah, for the parks and for especially big parks too, which are not necessarily as walkable as others are, they're great. There's actually some in Aprelivka now, believe it or not. I've never signed up to any of the scooter services. Maybe I should ride the ones where I live and see what they cost. I've never even looked what the price is. So, leaving now. See you next time. Thank you, John. Thanks for watching the live stream. Thank you so much. Oh, in Aprelivka. UWU videos. You need to change your channel name to something that I can read a little bit easier. You're also in Aprelivka, yes. The famous D4 train station. I must watch the farmer's market video. Yeah, I went to I've done a few different farmer's market videos, so you can watch 2 or 3 different ones. But the one where I went to in Kaluga, it was basically like an event where a company invited farmers from around Russia, actually, not just Moscow region, to promote themselves into the supermarkets. It's working in test mode. There we go. That's what they call it in Russia, don't they? Test mode. Everything's in test mode until it's ready and officially ready to launch. When I was in Vedenha about 2 weeks ago, well, was it last week? When I was on the news, I was on Moscow 24 channel. They took me there to film a little bit at the Russia Expo. But I didn't. When I left, I didn't walk over that side of the park. I kind of walked back out the main entrance. Hello from Tomsk in Siberia. Здравствуйте. Здравствуйте. Wow. Fur Seal. That's your channel name. The Fur Seal. Hello. And the Russ, you've typed in Russian. No. The online broadcast, there is a slight delay, but it works perfectly. Well, previously there was no such. I didn't. Yeah, so you can watch, if anyone doesn't know who's around the world, there's a browser in Russia called Yandex browser. It's very similar to Google and things like that. But if you watch my YouTube videos in the Yandex browser, you can do translate. Then there's a voiceover translation of me talking. and you can actually listen to the translation in any language you like of my videos with sounds like it's like a real voice, but it's obviously an AI voice. But I didn't know that they've implemented it for live streams. So the Russ, that's amazing. And my name is the Russ as well. Well, not the Russ. Hello from Chumin. Russell, good to see you. Thank you for everybody who's local. Well, Russia local anyway. That's pretty cool. Let me just do translate here. How many languages do you know? I don't know Jolly. I only know English as the only language, being that I'm a native English speaking. And then I know a few words in about 50 languages. From working on cruise ships for a lot of years, there was employees from everywhere in the world, and you'd learn a word or two from everybody so that you could always feel a little bit closer to them and, say some sort of a greeting to somebody in a different country, from a different country, even though on the ship you all spoke English. But your channel told them that you would do great videos and bring Russia alive. Thank you, William. Thank you so much for sharing my videos. Yeah, it just needs an occasional share into other platforms for a video to take off. I live here. Unfriendly stoic. Yes, I absolutely live here. We actually moved into this place. We now own it, let's say. Well, not 100%, but the bank owns a little bit of it. And then you guys own a little bit of it. My wife really owns all of it. So, from similar to Russia where you live, would be nice to know where. It's very hard to compare. I mean, in Australia, we were living very close to the beach. So obviously there's ocean encompasses all of Australia. 80% of the population live within a reasonable driving distance of the ocean or a beach. So obviously where we live here in Prelivka, we're landlocked. You can go to Moscow to see a river. So yeah, that's a very big difference in the region of where we live. So here there's no water or ocean. So in Australia, if you ever kind of feel like it's too hot, you can go to the beach and have a swim, right? You can go to someone's house, swim in their pool. Here in Russia, that's not necessarily an easy thing to do if you live in a town like I do in Moscow region. These are very, very difficult. I mean, there is so much similarities in like going to a supermarket, going to a shopping center, buying something you need to fix your apartment, for instance, like this. But then it's very different at the same time. I mean, I don't own a car while I'm here, so I catch public transport everywhere. In Australia, we had a car. We had to have a car. I would drive everywhere to go and do something. Whereas here, I can walk to the home fix-it center. It's, 10 minutes walk from here, and I can buy something. Whereas in Australia, I have to get in the car, drive 20 minutes to something similar in Russia to Leroy Merlin or Obi. We've got Bunnings in Australia. It's very similar. B&Q in England. So that's different. There's an incredibly long list of differences, but I think a lot of similar family values, though. Alex. Unfriendly stoic. Russian. No, yeah, it's just easier if people can write in Russian. It's not a problem. I just can't read it. That's all. As you live. Oh, hello from Billy Bino. Oh my gosh. Billy Bino. I'm not sure about Billy Bino. I'm sorry where it is. Autonomous Okrug. Billy Bino. Now I'm going to have to Google it on my other screen. Bill, B-I-L-I. Bino. Town in Russia. Nuclear power plant. It is 625 kilometers northeast of Adama. The administration. Okay. Only 5,000 people live there. What? Oh, is that old population count? 2021 census. 5,000 people live there. was built at the confluence of the Kremlin and Bolshoi rivers. Town is the home to the world's northernmost nuclear power plant, which opened in 1974. It is the only nuclear power plant in the Russian Far East, and it has 4 reactors. Shut down and decommissioned, and will be replaced by another power plant, a floating power plant. There's a gold mine there as well. Wow. That's pretty cool. Thanks for tell me where you're from. Wow. And I think you're you're absolutely, well, if that's where you are, you're on the far northeast of Russia. Holy dooly. So what we see, it seems a very friendly and scenic, clean and safe country. Yes. Yeah, it's very different. I mean, you could say things are different and the same and not the same and different. Even going to the flea market. I mean, a flea market and a, car boot sale, thrift, in America, thrift stores. People go thrifting. You could say it's pretty similar, right? I worked on Carnival Cruise Line. I was on a cruise and the ship was the Fantasy. William, yes, I worked on the Fantasy for probably 2 years. I did 3 contracts on the Fantasy, 8-month contracts, doing Freeport, Nassau, from Port Canaveral, when it was, that was pretty much the run that you did Tuesday and Fridays in Nassau. Yes, I definitely worked on the Fantasy's now been scrapped and it's now metal and it's been made into bottle caps or whatever you call it, aluminium cans. Yes, I spent a lot of time working on the Fantasy, and I worked on Carnival most of my cruise line career. Island, but Vladivostok City is connected to mainland still, so I understand that completely. I can't imagine myself living without the sea at all. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably a big deal for people in the Far East, whereas here you've got rivers. I mean, you can go see the Moscow River, half an hour. Well, let's call it 45 minutes, and you get close to the rivers. Let me just close that so I can see this. I think we're good. Yes. My parents have not come to Moscow to visit me, no. They keep talking about it. It's a matter of just getting on the plane and coming. No, Zayak, and we as kids went to swim in the lake and a river. In Moscow, there are swimming spots like a lake that we went at. Yes, there is. Yeah, like swimming spots where you can go swim in the river. When we went to Ufa and went to Davlikanova, and we went to this holiday resort called Buktakila. We swam in the river there. Beautiful. Very cold water, but beautiful. Clear, fresh. So nice. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh. I can't keep copying and pasting to get the translation. Do I speak Russian? Chut-chut по-русски. Маленький по-русски. Watching from the Philippines. Wow. There's actually some Filipinos that live and work here in Moscow. You see them around, and you can definitely tell the look of a Filipino versus an Indonesian, versus other people from Asia. Ensamadas. That's what I want. Ensamada. Works. Copied YouTube. Link to Yandex. Yes, that's what I suggested a long time ago. Before I started fixing the subtitling on the YouTube videos, now you can put Russian as an option in the long form videos on the channel. Yeah, swimming spots. Yeah, there's also some swimming pools in some of the parks as well. When I've filmed the video at Avia Park in the last shopping center video, they're basically remodeling a little bit of the swimming pool they've got there that'll open for summer. For the seniors, go to Black Sea and Sochi. Yes. What made me move, or what made me live in Russia? My Russian wife. That's what made me move here. UK is here. Greetings to all nice people of Aprelivka. Are you going to try long distance trains and make a video of that trip? Long distance, I mean, a few hours. I went to Kaluga. That's not very long distance. The D4 to Moscow is not very long distance. I'd love to do the Trans-Siberian, but my wife will never do that trip with me. I need to find somebody to go and do that trip with. I'm not sure how many other people from Prelivka are watching this live stream, though. I know one person mentioned they were from here, but if there's more, let me know in the comments. I love the country, but there are a lot of problems, a lot of challenges and opportunities. You need to reword that. There are a lot of challenges and opportunities. I'm enjoying it like an adventure. Robinson Crusoe. I'm just reading on an uninhabited island. People swim in the river Volga and they love it. Yes. I mean, even going to that little resort we went to, we've been there twice now. I mean, the previous time we went, it was too cold to swim. Really, truly was too cold. But this time when we went last summer, it was beautiful. And literally, it was like nice to go in the river and have a swim. They actually had a pool there as well, but no one ever used it because you just go out on the jetty and never swim in the river. So it was too easy to do that. Yes. Well, look at that. We caught up to the chat. There's 105 people watching. Thank you so much. I keep looking at the chat down here and then the chat over here. And then I forget the camera's up here. So I lowered the camera to my eye level. So it's a little bit easier to interact with. But thank you for whoever's putting likes on the video, on the live stream. Thank you. And then especially if you're watching videos that are not live, like you're watching any video on the channel. Thanks for putting likes on those as well. And watching older videos on the channel. I mean, just search by oldest first and watch some of the videos from the very beginning, if you like. When I really was just putting videos on there, at least the first 30, well, 20, 30 videos, 40 videos didn't really get any views at all, literally. There was just nothing. And then now, of course, with a larger channel subscribership or subscribers, now naturally more people will watch a video because more people get notification of new videos on the channel. So all good. All right, everybody. So an hour and 12. Now you need to let me know. Let's see what happened with the poll. 227 people. So 71% of people said they'd like to see more live streams, which is always good. 71%. Thank you if you voted in the poll in the comments. Thank you so much. 28% said no. Well, that's fair enough. 28%. So that would be about 70 or so people. And then there's only 106 watching. So I always wonder how there's more comments from there's more poll answers than there is people watching. I guess say people watch the stream, answer the poll, and then click away, maybe. I think. I don't know. I've not, Nelly, I've never actually gone and swam in the pool in a Prelivka. My wife goes, I wouldn't say often, but she goes occasionally. But I've never swam in that swimming pool. I've been there. There's a cafe on the second level, like a restaurant or a cafe, I'd call it, which we've been to quite a few times, but I've never actually swam in the pool. There's a gym there as well. They do dancing, gymnastics. There's also a table tennis club there as well. I've never swam in that pool. Imagine. One of my neighbors goes there. His son goes and swims there and does swimming lessons. More live streams would be great. Thank you, Spotty. Thank you. That would be nice to know that people like doing live streams. I need to send myself a donation alerts. My phone's in the other room to see that it's working. I just need to send myself like 5 rubles just as a test. Test that it works. No worries. Why don't you travel showing Russia to us? We know only Moscow and St. Petersburg. We want more dungeon. Now, there is other YouTubers in the world or in Moscow or in Russia who create content in other regions of Russia. Pretty much probably the one of YouTubers that I know, Ellie from Russia. You could watch her channel. She definitely goes and visits a lot of the other regions of Russia. Obviously, a lot of people who are YouTubers naturally create content in the place where they're from, because that's where they live, and that's their limitations of creating videos on the channels. So, there's a lot of cost involved in traveling to other places to make videos in other regions of Russia. Not necessarily it would be financially possible to afford the travel to make the videos going, even flying to, somewhere else in Russia to make a video. So we like you. Thank you. That's nice. Have you ever been to Ekaterinburg? I haven't. No, totally a Russian. Well, you're really a Russian. I've never been there. No, I've been to Ufa a few times because that's where my wife is from. But I haven't been there. I'm sorry. How do you watch the Frio games from Russia? Michael, very easy. I use a VPN, and then I go to a website that shows every live sport anywhere in the world. So, for instance, later on this afternoon, I'm going to watch the Masters Golf, the 4th round of the golf. Will be on. It's 3:22 here. It starts. Let me tell you what time the ESPN. I'm using ESPN as the first group tees off at 4:15, so in less than an hour. And actually, Tiger Woods tees off at 4:35, so he tees off in exactly an hour from now. The leaders won't tee off until 9:30 Moscow time, so I'll watch the Masters Golf. And I watched about the second half of the Eagles Richmond game today. So yeah, you can see AFL, and it's actually the Australian feed, which I think it was the Fox feed that went through TNT America and then ended up on this website. But yeah, it's pretty much all of the English commentary on all of that, so you can watch any football match you like. Yeah, so it's easy. It's actually very easy to watch. It's easier to watch it here than it is in Australia, because in Australia, you don't get all of the matches on free-to-air television, and a lot of it's put on Fox, which is a paid subscription or box that you put in your house and dish on the roof. But I can watch it through the computer here easier in Russia. But it's strange that I can say that. Thank you, Maxim. It's working. Greetings from SVAO, Losiny Ostrov. Where is Losiny Ostrov? My gosh, search the web for Losiny Ostrov. Is that in Moscow? Oh, it is in Moscow. National Park is the second oldest national park in Russia. It's located in Moscow and Moscow Oblast. It's the largest urban park in Europe. What? How do I not know about this place? It's one of the few locations in Moscow where you can see wild animals in their native environment, including moose. There's 44 species of mammals there and 170 birds. And then where's all the Australian spiders there? There's 19 types of fish. Wow, it's a big park. Huge place. 116 square kilometers. Wow. How did I not know about this? Thank you, Maxim. From SVAO, Losiny Ostrov. I'm pretty sure that's the same place. Crazy. I learn something new every time I watch my own live streams. Thank you for the donation alerts. It's definitely working. Thank you. Basically, let me say, with donation alerts and Boosty, if anything comes instantly to me, I go instantly to the shop to buy something for the apartment. So, the dream is to get the kitchen replaced, but I have to leave that as a dream for now. Peter, hopefully your Uncle Peter. I'm doing well. How is the new apartment? Maybe you're not Uncle Peter from Fremantle or South Fremantle. The new apartment is good. Needs a few things doing to it. We'd love to one of the things we want to do, which is a little bit simpler than other things, is to replace the wallpaper, because it's like this. Doesn't look as bad on the TV on the screen, but it's like a yellow. In the other room, it's like a pink wallpaper. But we love it. It's our place. We lock the door. It's our own. We're not giving money to now a landlord. We're having to give some money to the bank, of course. Frio haven't had a good time lately. No, they lost the last match, didn't they? Didn't they have like? I just watched on. I watched the front bar every week, and they talked about like this last-minute goal that they lost against. So it was like Descent, and they got a free kick and another goal. Yeah, the apartment's good. Needs lots of little things doing, but Anton, thank you. If you're leaving, thank you so much for watching the live stream. We're at an hour 20. We'll either go for 9 more minutes. Let's do a poll. And I'm sure everyone's going to say go longer, because that's pretty much normal. Start a poll. 9 more minutes of the stream, or I guess it'd be 39, wouldn't it? Let's do 9 as the first answer, because people always pick the first answer. I'm sure everyone's going to put 39 because that's normal. Wants me to be forever. What features of living in Russia do you find the most life simplifying? Yes, right. Online delivering. The fact that, okay, I can order from supermarkets. We can do online from Ozon and Wildberries and pick it up in our building. We've got a pickup point. My wife does that a lot. She even gets washing powder for pickup from there rather than going to the supermarket because it's cheaper. Yeah, a lot of apps on our phones. I don't have my phone's in the other room. I'm downloading and uploading the new video to the channel, and I've got it plugged in the other room. But yeah, even car sharing, the Moscow Metro maps, Yandex maps. There's so much I can do on my phone here in Russia. Okay, you can do things in Australia, of course, but there's just a lot more availability for things that are just way advanced. Of course, you can then go to administration buildings and they're still writing things on bits of paper, and I've got filing cabinets. So, Lou Levins, what website is that? I'm not too sure. If it's donation alerts, there's a pinned comment if you want to do donation alerts. Will you make a Victory Day live stream? The Victory Day is impossible to film because pretty much so much of it's closed in Moscow for Victory Day. It's impossible to go there and film things. William, by the way, you need to follow the Plastic Russian on his Telegram channel or his YouTube channel, because he's also, I think you may know him indirectly or chatted to him somehow through me and the circles, but yeah. Congrats on the new apartment. Thank you, Floridian. Yes, it's very nice. It's slowly getting a little bit nicer as we do little things and make it a little bit more homely. And we had a rug or a big piece of carpet we brought from the other place, which we put down now, which feels a little bit more homely. Wild stream instead of a live stream. Shogun Crypto. I want to do some sort of everyone wants to go for 39 minutes. Of course they do. Of course. Of course. A horse, of course. Let's see. As long as we get enough chat for me to reply to, then it's easy for me to do that. Obviously, if people put comments like donation comments, I can also answer them a little bit longer as well, and a little bit more in detail if people ask specific things. Do you keep tabs on Aussie sport? Yeah, well, not as much as I probably would if I was living there. I'm probably out of the loop of knowing, like, especially when you watch the nightly news in Australia and then you see what after the weekend's matches, you see them, during the week.
kind of interview with the coaches and stuff. So I don't see really any of that. I watch Front Bar every Wednesday night. That goes, I can view that actually on YouTube without ads. So if you ever want to watch Front Bar anytime, just watch it on YouTube without ads, and it's just much easier to watch. Yeah, and I follow Australians like from the tennis and the golf and things like that. Hello from Moscow. Anton, yes. Yeah, Mr. Jamo, they're great. Probably the only thing at nighttime when I'm in here with my computer on, and then the light reflects back to the other room where my wife sleeps. So they are very nice. I mean, I wish they would have just done like maybe 3 rows of the blocks at the top, not the whole wall pretty much. That would have been better if there was less blocks, just so that it was more suitable for the lighting. Just been to your sister's for dinner. Oh, Dad. Nice. And I'm not sure if Peter's here, if that's Peter from Australia or another Peter. I'm always confused with the Peters watching. So, yeah. Content creator. I wouldn't say I'm professional. It's a little bit... the only thing... The favorite part, obviously, is putting a video on and watching the views and the graph. They show you instantly the live graph of people watching, like the 60-minute view and then the 48-hour view. So seeing that and then seeing comments come in as soon as the video goes on the channel, I love that part. I love the live streams because I know you're behind the other side of the camera. And there's a lot more interaction with you guys watching now versus me comment, because obviously a lot of hours of the day I'm not on YouTube physically looking at it. So there's a lot of comments that I miss because there's just too many comments on the videos sometimes. So the only thing with that I don't like about it is you've got to be very self-motivated to make more videos, put more videos on the channel. You know, you've got to keep making videos. And that's the toughest part about YouTube. Stephen, thank you for an apartment fund donation. And you're also a channel member as well. Thank you, Stephen Friedman. Yes. Yeah, we're working on, well, really my wife is working on things. I just do things that she tells me to do. So I think today or tomorrow, there's somebody coming to measure for the curtain tracks, because we're going to get somebody to put them in for us. Because my IKEA toolkit, of course, doesn't really do everything in the apartment that I like. So that's the next thing on the list. I've made a very long list, and a lot of them are down the bottom because my wife said it's not important. It's not important. That's not important. That's not important. This is important. One is actually getting an oven. We've got a hot plate, but we don't have an oven. Now, if we actually eventually replace the kitchen, let me just show everybody. Now, this is a little bit, when I was coming home, it got wet in my bag, but that's the kitchen layout. And at the moment, this is what we want to do, proposed, right? So at the moment, we've got a hot plate, but then in the apartment now, there's no kitchen, there's no oven there. So we'd put it over here, but we can buy the oven and then put it in and then take it out and put it in the new kitchen. So then there's a list back here with all the parts. It tells you exactly everything to buy. Actually, when you go to pay for it, they give you exactly every single item that's in the plan here. And then you can actually pay for someone to install it and then deliver it. So obviously I couldn't possibly do this alone. So Stephen, that's my long-term, down the bottom of the list, fund. There's obviously a lot of things that we want to do now, like literally now, but I must have missed the news about you moving into a new apartment. Is there a video where you announced it? Aru, kind of in live streams, I was talking about it for about the last 2 months, but I didn't want to say for certain when and how and what, because we didn't really know the dates and things like that. And I've had that crazy idea. I'm sure everyone loves to see this. Most people don't like to see it. My crazy idea. Where's my crazy idea? Is that crazy? I can't find it. Here it is. Let me show everybody my crazy idea, because this is what I talked about quite a lot. Where are we? Oh my gosh, I can't see that. Share screen. This is what we need. Share screen. Window, tab, crazy idea. Let's see this now. Arun. Let's go to that one. That one's a bit easier. That's me a bit bigger. So yeah, the idea is, well, it's 23 rubles on this one because this was the reduced one. 23 rubles each. So if every subscriber on the channel gave me 23 rubles or 25 cents, then the apartment, well, technically the apartment will be done and finished, done and dusted, as they say. That's the dream. But we basically made one part of the crazy idea work. Is that in front of me? Oh, I can't get rid of that. Yes, like this. Yeah, this is the revised crazy idea. Actually, it'd be even more revised because the subscriber count is now obviously more than 138,000. So that was the crazy idea that I had. But now basically the crazy ideas are now to figure out this right here. We've got the fridge. We've got a hot plate. We don't have this part over here. And obviously the rest of it's over on this list on this side. What is the sport website you watch? Lou, it's not a secret. It's called freestreams dot something. I guess if you do free streams and sport in a Google search, it's not a secret. Even last night when I couldn't get the golf to work, I just Googled golf live streams, and then I clicked through each link until I found one that actually worked. But most of the time, depending on where you live, you'll have to watch it with a VPN. Is this my computer room? Yes, it is. Well, no, it is. Officially, it's a bedroom, but the way we're doing it, we're putting the bed in the lounge room and putting this in here to close me off, by the way. So my wife is more than happy for me to be in here. And there's not really any storage because we moved some storage that was here. So it's got a few things piled up. So yes. Oh, you've chatted to Plastic Russian. Nice, William. Yeah, so this is the computer room. Well, it's where I've got my whole setup right in front of me here. It's a bit hard to show what it is. But yes. Nice to see you. Nice kitchen, yes. Devon. Yeah, so all we need to do now, well, not all we need to do now, is basically if I showed this to the lady at the kitchen shop and pay for it loosely, then they can deliver that a couple of days from now. We'd have to find somebody to install it for us. You can actually pay the kitchen shop to have it installed, or you can use your own installer, and they'd know what to do, basically. Irina, oh, hello. I've got an apartment, but I cannot choose the kitchen. It's breaking my head to choose all the details. Yes, Irina. So we went, actually, we would have, okay, a lot of people used IKEA when it was here in Russia. But there's a couple of options. So this one is actually from Leroy Merlin. So I measured everything up the other day when we went there, and then that's what they came up with. So they put all the dimensions in so they know exactly what to do. And then it actually creates all of the items that you need to basically build this exactly how you see it. So that was the thing. Arun, thank you. You donated to my apartment fund. Thank you. I'll have to see. My phone is not here to see other notifications. So if anyone's doing Boosty, SberBank, what are the others? PayPal. Okay. Yeah. So if you've done one of those, I can't see a notification. So thank you if you've done a donation to the apartment fund. Yeah, Irina, the kitchen thing, my wife, they've got lots of demonstration kitchens at Leroy Merlin, and you can choose kind of a theme, which is what we sort of did with this one. You can also go to private kind of kitchen companies that do this measuring and things like this. So we are going to go and check another place to see if it might be cheaper. And hopefully, I mean, we'll figure out a balance and then see if we can make it work. What gave you the idea to do YouTube videos about cruise ships originally? Yes. So when I was working on cruise ships, I probably should have been filming them 15, 20 years ago when YouTube started, but I didn't really understand the concept about it back then. But yeah, I was on a cruise ship and I wanted to start doing videos about how to get to the beach, or how to get to a beach club, or how to get to a resort videos. So yeah, I filmed a few of them, like walking off the ship on the gangway and then going to a beach and film going there and how to get there. The idea with the channel was when I was not going to be on ships at some point, I'd then go to, say, Bali or Thailand and do hotel reviews and go to a resort and film like a room review or a hotel resort review and do those sort of videos. And the idea would be to sort of go to Bali for a week or two and go to hotels and ask them, can I do a walk around of the resort? And can I maybe see some of the rooms? And can you open a couple of room doors for me? And do that. And that was going to be the channel. The I Like Cruise Ships channel would then migrate to kind of a holiday channel and go to resorts and live the life in Bali or Thailand or somewhere and do that. It obviously didn't really eventuate. So I started this video channel from scratch when I was in Moscow, where I'm here now. And a lot of the first videos were basically just put on the YouTube platform, and then YouTube had to find the audience for me and found you guys. You know, I don't, ask people to subscribe. Okay, and the last part of the video, I always mention it, but that's it. I don't beg and plead people on the street to do that. I want people to subscribe and like the videos and things like that because they like the channel or like me or like some part of what I'm doing. So 80% said stay longer. Thank you. 61 votes said stay longer. As soon as you finish, Russell, we'll start a new Cooking with Russell channel. Yes, that would be an idea. And people have said that before about cooking some basic Russian meals and film something. I'd love to film my wife doing that. You just need to convince her to be on YouTube. Everyone would like her to be on here. Yes, Dad, I watched the last half of the match here on my screen. I posted on Telegram that I was watching. No, actually, I didn't post. I took a photo and sent it to my friend Phil, who was at the game watching. He's a forever member of the Eagles, and he goes to every home game. And I sent him a photo of me watching the Eagles on the computer screen here earlier on. So, yeah. So, by the way, Dad, that's the kitchen that we talked about. And then the sink is over. So I think this cupboard can open, I think. And then you can actually get to the plumbing at the back of the sink over here. There's a couple of cupboards here, I think. So you can actually access from that cupboard or that cupboard, either one, to get in there. Yeah, actually, we've also got this one. This is not the one we would use. We'd use the one that's existing to save money, not buying a whole new everything here. The fridge is perfectly fine that we have, but we'd need the oven. Really, we want the oven now, but we need to figure out a way to get to that point. So, would you plan to visit and make a video? There, you can go to the Kremlin any day of the week. Well, any day that it's open. There, you can buy tickets to go there. You don't need public open days to go to the Kremlin. There is a ticket office where you can buy tickets, and then there is certain days that they're closed for whatever reason. Normally, they've got some sort of visits and things like that they close the whole territory. They even close Red Square whenever they like. They close Alexander Garden whenever they like. because they do that, you know. So yeah, I've been there twice, I think, to the Kremlin, and just gone for a walk around. You can walk around for hours there, and look at the different buildings, and there's some different kind of museums in there as well, and there's a church in there. It's very interesting. It's like really kind of a little bit weird when you walk in there, because you forever look at the outside of the Kremlin walls, and then it's like a bit of you're stepping into a portal when you walk in the other side of that wall, So yeah, you don't really need open days. You can just go anytime. I mean, filming a video, I guess you'd be filming it just like a tourist, and that's amazing. That's amazing. And show things. Even yesterday at the Izmailova Kremlin, it was actually a little bit easier than what I thought. The last time I've been there, when I was wanting to film the flea market there, people got really upset, and especially all of the older babushkas and grandmothers who didn't like me filming things. Yesterday, it wasn't not a problem. Maybe it's a new time that we're in that makes it easier to film things. Yeah. Are we going to get 19 more minutes out of the live stream? We've got 100 people watching. We've got 174 likes. Thank you so much for 174 likes, thumbs ups. And 81% of you said we should do a longer live stream. So I'm here. Let's give a shout out to people who did super chats. Commando Crossfire, thank you. Nancy, thank you. C. Tavik, thank you. Binza Shuzamal Shal, thank you. And Stephen, thank you. A new apartment fund. Pretty much it's all apartment fund donations now. So thank you so much. And then also Maxim Lost, thank you, from Losiny, Ostrov. Thank you so much. And then also, I think, who said that they donated earlier just now? Arun, thank you. I think maybe on Boosty or PayPal or SberBank, I'm not sure. So we'll see that afterwards. Greetings from Poland. Hello. In Poland. Dzień dobry. Do widzenia. That's about all the words I know in Polish. Yeah. I think I'm all out of things that I'm going to talk about topic-wise. Do you think I should hang my YouTube plaque behind me on this hook over here? Or do you think it's okay if I put it on the wall, which is not next to the door? Actually, I might just swing the camera around to show my dad if he's watching. Oh, the wrong way. Wrong way. The door here. Because he didn't see this before, so... Yeah, the mirror came off the door. And then there's basically inbuilt into the frame of the door, there was a glass panel. Now, we didn't break that, but when the mirror fell off, it's hard to point when the camera's in reverse. When the mirror fell off, you can see the glue where the mirror was. It revealed the broken door. So, yeah, so essentially we can't replace that pane of glass because it's like sandwiched into the wood. It's not like a separate panel. It's like a one-piece door. So we can't replace the glass, which would make sense. So it's a whole new door. And then when we've had to replace a door at our old studio before, we ended up having to replace the whole door jamb. Oh my gosh, that's impossible to do this. We had to replace all of this because of the size of the door jamb didn't match up with the door. Yeah, that's not a good thing, but that's the perils of home ownership, right? The perils of home ownership. Joachim, salute from Portugal. Did I say Poland? No, you typed right underneath. Poland and then Portugal. Joachim, hello in Portugal. I don't know any Portuguese, even though I know Joanna from Portugal, and I met her in Moscow last week. Well, it'd be 2 weeks ago now that she was here. She brought us some candy. She brought me some Maltesers. And then last time she brought me some Portuguese Coca-Cola, which was really nice. Behind would be nice, but you have to live in the house, so you decide. Thank you. Well, that's true. But I think all YouTubers tend to have their plaque behind them in the live streams, right? I think that's like a thing that you have to do. You got to have it behind you so that everybody sees it. Parks in Moscow are so amazing. Yes, there is actually a park playlist that I've got on my channel. The silly thing with posting links into the chat is where is the link? Well, it's going to be a very long link, isn't it? Content. Oh man, there's a lot of things to click through to get to it. Playlists. Russian parks. Parks of Moscow. There it is. There's a Parks of Moscow. Get a shareable link right here. And that's all the different park videos in one playlist. It kind of condenses it, which is handy. There's a playlist of different parks that I've filmed over the last year and a half. So you can check out some of those if you like. Hell from the United States. Thank you, Lucy and Glenn. Lucia. Life with Lucia and Glenn. Yeah, I like to do 2-hour live streams, especially if there's more comments. The donation alerts link has an error. Wow, did that possibly happen? It can't have an error, does it? Boosty. Oh, it does. Oh, did I spell it wrong? Oh my gosh. Let me fix that. Remove, unpin. That's probably the easiest thing. That's a problem. I must have, because the problem is, right, the amount of words in the description was too long. All right, now we're good. Pin message. Now it's going to work. Let me click it on myself. Yes, now it's working. Look at that. I can even send myself money to myself. Can you not do any amount, or are you stuck with what they tell you? Minimum amount, donation history. Well, that's crazy. Can you not change it to any amount? How can we? Oh, you can backspace and then take away the money. Okay, I understand. Yeah, so now it's working. Thank you, Lou. Thank you so much for letting me know. So donation alerts and Boosty is instant payment to the creators. So if you're ever watching anyone's live stream and they're pushing and promoting it, most of the Russian YouTubers' channels are in Russia, so they can't get the money from these accounts very easily. And that's why a lot of people have set up other options. I don't now talk about buy me a coffee because they're slowly removing all of the Russian creators from the Buy Me a Coffee platform. So I'm not talking about that anymore. Curtain pole over the glass bricks. Elaine, yes. That's what my wife suggested. Now, we can't reach it. This is actually a black garbage bag. Will that even reflect if I spin the camera? I don't really want to show you the other direction. No, it won't. It just clothes on the sofa. Yeah, you can't see, but the idea was to put black garbage bags on this side of the room. But the idea is what my wife came up with, which was a bit genius, is put the curtain rod, the width of the room, on some like L brackets. You can get a bracket that holds the rod, right? And then open and close some curtains. So during the day, it's obviously open to let the light in this room. And at nighttime, close the curtain so that my reflection doesn't go into my other room where my wife's sleeping. Yeah, Dad, I don't tell everybody everything about my life. I do tell a lot of things on live streams, but I don't say everything because, yes. So, Ellen, that's definitely what my wife said to do. So, thank you. We just need to sort that out and do that because that's the easiest. Well, the black plastic I thought was going to be a good fix. But it's my wife told me to. I've left one piece hanging up there. You can't see it. It's just behind the reflection of the cupboard here. But it's pretty much she told me to rip it down. So you can change it. Yes, I've definitely fixed it now. Will you and your wife ever take a vacation in Thailand? So many Russians are in Thailand now, so it couldn't be that expensive to fly there. We've been to Bali a couple of times because we like Bali. We met in Thailand, by the way, many years ago. You can fly direct to Thailand with either what's the Russian famous airline? Aeroflot. I think it's about a 9-hour flight directly to Thailand. Or there is other charter airlines that fly there as well. We just prefer Bali more than Thailand. I mean, obviously, the simple thing to go there with one flight makes a lot of sense. The problem at the moment is it's a matter of deciding, do we fix the kitchen or do we take a holiday? You know, do we help to pay off the apartment quicker or do we take a holiday? There's also a million Russians in Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, in Indonesia, in Bali, not just in Thailand. Because the thing is, you can't stay there for, I think it's 90 days for Russians. They've got to leave every 90 days to renew the tourist visa. So pretty much you've got to go in and out of the country every 90 days. You need to set up a green screen. Yeah, I don't like them green screen ideas. I know what you mean totally. I mean, I really should just decorate the background a bit more. I'm not a big green screen fan. I know what you mean because this StreamYard that I'm using allows you to use the green screen option. Been installing a new roller for the solar panel for the swim. Of course. It's such a hard life to put a new solar roller cover on your pool. The plastic Russian. You didn't miss a whole lot. We talked about my kitchen plans, which I've mentioned a few times now. Yeah. Yes, Europeans can travel to Europe. Russians can travel to Europe. They need, depending on the country, though, they would need a Schengen visa, which is a visa for Russians to enter certain European countries, which you can apply for here in Moscow at the embassies of the countries to get a Schengen visa. It is absolutely possible. It's not really any difference to it was 2 years ago. It's probably just a little bit harder. The wait times are a little bit longer. They're asking for a few extra documents for the application. You can also go through most travel agents who can arrange the application for a Schengen visa to travel to Europe. You can easily fly to Europe with Turkish Airlines through Istanbul to whatever cities that it flies connecting from Istanbul. So yes, it's completely possible. Need to come down to your part of the world. Yes, we should have a YouTuber meetup. And then we'll all come. Absolutely. Yeah, I should probably convince Sam to do a road trip in his car to you. So if you're up for that and you've got a spare room and we can convince Sam to pick me up on the way through Moscow from Vladimir, we can do the road trip to you. And then we can have a YouTuber summit. We could do that, right? We can even have people come to learn about YouTube from us. I don't know how to receive Bitcoin. So I don't know anything about the plastic Russian knows about Bitcoin. I don't know about Bitcoin. So the easiest way to for me is actually the instant way is Boosty. That's the absolute instant way. And I can have the money here within 10 minutes, 5 minutes. And then I'll just go straight to the hardware store and buy something for the apartment within 10 minutes. That's the instant way. The 10 hour or 6 or 12 hour delayed way is donation alerts. Obviously, super chats come through YouTube, which is how I've got everything set up. The Bitcoin part, I'm not sure. So yeah, the plastic Russian. Send him some, and he'll send me some. Have you ever been to Europe? Yes, I definitely have. Yeah, I've been on cruise ships there. I've been to England many times. On cruise ships, I went to France, Italy, Spain. Where did we go to? Greece. Yeah, on cruise ships, I've been to Europe. Definitely. Come to Italy, yes. And that's also where David lives, who is on the Traveling with Russell Telegram channel. He's hugely popular on there. So if you're in the Telegram channel, Traveling with Russell, let me post the link to the Telegram channel. And David's invited me many times. That's the Telegram channel right there. With a Bitcoin, you can buy the apartment. I just want to do the kitchen. I guess my crazy idea should be the kitchen crazy idea, shouldn't it? Because I've got one total for the entire kitchen. I've got the total for the installation, and the delivery is about 2,000 rubles. They said maybe 3,000. 2,000 rubles to deliver the whole kitchen to the house, and then we pay the guy to come and install it. Bing, bang, boom. Really, we want the oven so that we can do roast beef. So we can do teriyaki chicken in the oven. We want to do cooking in the oven. We got so used to it in our last apartment. Now we miss the oven. That's what we miss. Come to Lubiets. Thanks. I don't know. Lubiets is in Moscow, I think, isn't it? Lubiets in Moscow. I feel like it is. I think it's a district of Moscow. Yeah, Moscow region. Moscow Oblast. Oh, Kotliniki. Yeah, that's not too far away. What are you on about? You're telling me I thought I was coming miles away, but it's Ministry and Municipal District, one of 36 in Moscow. Yeah, it's in the northeast of Moscow. There we go. Yeah, thank you for the invite. Yeah, I'm just thinking, because I would tend to know places from the metro station names. So, okay, everybody, we're going to wrap up the live stream. Oh, the Kitchen Fund. Wow, Anonymous, the Kitchen Fund. Thank you so much. Wow. What I like about Anonymous is, well, what I don't like about it is it racks my brain now who the anonymous person is. That's what's the hardest part. Do you guys want to know what the total price for the kitchen is? Do you want to know? Do you want to know it with or without installation? Hello to your name that I can't read. Hi. Do you guys want to know what the price is for the kitchen? 683. Thank you, Anonymous, by the way. Kitchen Fund. Yes, with installation. Oh my gosh. I've got to add two numbers together now because I've got it just scribble down the installation because it quoted. This is the installation from Leroy Merlin, by the way, not from another guy who would just come and do it for us. The only thing is we may have to get an electrician to move one plug because there's no plug where the fridge would be. 114 plus 78. locals. So the kitchen we've chosen is 206,000 rubles. So it's 2,000 euros or $2,000 for that. By the way, that doesn't include the fridge. Sorry, let me just say it doesn't include the price of the fridge. And this, oh no, these three it doesn't include. Well, the hot plate, the extractor fan, and the fridge, because we've got them. Everything else is what you pay for 2,000 euros. Oh, there you go. It's normally 10%. Well, that's about right. It's a little bit over 10%. It's probably like 12%. So yeah, thank you. I'm going to say again, Maxim and Anonymous, thank you for donation alerts. Let me just close this link over here so I can see that. So yeah, that's where we're at. But again, this is down the list. The curtains are much higher on the priority list than everything, because we need to get curtains in the windows, in the bay window, stop the sun coming through in the afternoon like now. And then this curtain for this room so that my wife doesn't bother me every night with saying that there's too much light shining through these glass blocks. Because we did talk about getting the wall changed and take away the glass blocks. But there's obviously a lot of people who like it. Do you think I should add crypto as a payment method? I don't know. I don't know if... can you hang out just maybe 20 minutes more? 20 minutes more. Oh, we're at 2 hours and 1 minute already. This is pretty much, there's not enough chat going on, Mr. Busby, for me to talk about things. I've kind of talked about the things that I wanted to talk about. So I don't really have more topics to go through for 20 more minutes. Do it. Okay, I'll figure out adding a crypto payment method. I wonder if someone would ever send me crypto. I don't think anybody would, but you know, the thing, like with these many other payment platforms, it's more than enough. And I just keep staring from 3 minutes ago, the Anonymous. it's you know, do you think it's a good idea to Anonymous, or do you think it should just be somebody's name on the donation? I have crypto, but sending it is way too high a fees. Wisdom individual. Well, there we go. You've got some crypto. I've never really got into crypto or looked it up or looked into it or anything like that. I don't know who Belo Zloto is. I just know Krasny Belo. So I guess it's white Zloto. If that's Belo Zloto. I don't know who they are, so I'm sorry. Do Russians say anything to you when they hear you filming in English? Very rarely, no. Most people start to recognize me. I get recognized probably a couple of times a day. Yesterday, I got recognized in the Izmailova market by, actually, incidentally, it was a friend of a friend who recognized me, and I didn't recognize him because I was busy filming, and I don't really look around too much. And that's what I talk about, like going to, you know, like the Panorama 360 in Moscow Center, in Moscow City. You have to pay 2,000 rubles for a ticket to film something, and you don't really take in the view because you're busy making sure you got the right shot. And yesterday, like, I was filming, and then the guy said, "Oh, Russell, how you going?" I'm like, "Oh, good. Yeah, I'm Peter's friend." And we know each other, right? Because I knew Peter, and Peter knows him, right? And we chatted for about half an hour, you know, just about Moscow and about the Izmailova market and things like that, because he came there just to go for a wander around the market. So, yeah, most people are just curious about what I'm filming, like why and how and what. Talk about the YouTube channel, you know. Bald and Bankrupt is a living legend among the English-speaking Russian YouTubers. Well, you mean English-speaking YouTubers? He obviously can speak Russian. He now live in in Budapest, in Hungary, I think that's where he lives now. Yeah, he did a lot for, I'm going to say even he did a lot for Russian tourism, or broadening people's horizons about a lot of regional places in Russia. I mean, not always positive. That's the only thing. He did show a lot of negativeness to places that don't really need to be shown like that. I just got here, so sorry if you asked. Patricio, no worries. No, you can ask away. You're awesome, Sandy from New Jersey, USA. Will you ever visit New York? I've been to New York on cruise ships. I've been to the Jersey Gardens Mall. Someone actually picked us up from the cruise ship's dock on 50th and West Side Highway in Manhattan. Someone picked us up and drove us to the mall and back. Yeah, I've spent time in Manhattan on the cruise ships. I've not seen any other part of New York. So, I mean, I realize there's rolling hills and, and beautiful green parts of New York, but I just know Manhattan from where the cruise ships come in under the Verrazano Bridge. So, yeah, love the place. Oh, white gold. There you go. Oh, that's what it meant. Oh, I should. Zlato is gold. White gold. They have a live stream later today. There you go. I don't listen to any music or watch. Someone asked me yesterday when I was looking at the flea market. They had a lot of people selling records and cassettes and CDs, and they asked me what music I'm into. And the guy was in horror. One guy was like, I don't listen to music. What? If you have a bank in America, could you log in? Yes. Well, I can log into Australian bank accounts. Yeah, absolutely can. Yeah, just use it. I use the app on my phone to my Australian banks. I can log in from my computer, from the desktop to my bank accounts. Absolutely fine. Yes, it's not a worry to do logging in to bank accounts. You can't use your American bank cards in the banks here, though. So you couldn't use an ATM, or you couldn't use them to pay for something or spend something. But yes. In the US, I live in Russia. That is my dream, and I'm moving in September. I don't know. I know just some of the Russian YouTubers. How they get their money from America to Russia, I'm not 100% sure of, because I've never asked them literally what they're doing. My method from Australia to Russia is probably different to what they do. Maybe they're doing things like crypto, or they're doing some sort of exchange platform to do that. I know it's more than possible. It's just what method they use. Once you find a way to do it, keep doing it. Thank you, John. Never keep on exchange. Can't send it from exchange because of European laundering. Okay. Correct. Okay, correct. Not correct, correct, not correct. By the way, Binzaminjul Mikkel, the Plastic Russian has a YouTube channel. And I'm pretty sure you've got a video about talking about crypto, right, on one of your videos on your channel. So, yeah, definitely. I guess you can talk about it. I don't really know anything. I mean, I know everything about the whole world, but I just never took any notice and attention to the different methods around crypto and things like that. So, I mean, for us to be able to buy the apartment, we obviously needed a deposit for the bank. We figured out a way to get that amount of money for the bank. I mean, they don't ask us how it got here, but no one asks us how it got here and how it left Australia, but it's here. So, yeah. Okay, everybody. I think now I'm going to go. It's 8 minutes over my 2 hours of the live stream. I hope I've answered lots of people's questions. And thank you again to all the people that did donations to the apartment fund. Stephen, Binzaminjashul, T. Tavik, Nancy Mitchell, Commando Crossfire. Thank you. And then somebody said they did, I think maybe they did either Boosty or PayPal earlier. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. And then Anonymous and Maxime, thank you for donation alerts. Thank you for that so much. Kitchen Fund. Anonymous. That pretty much covers everybody who's watching the stream, right? If I just say anonymous, because I'll never know who it is, and I'll never be able to find out. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Busby. Thank you so much. Change your channel name and have instead of Mr. Oh, I don't know how you change it. Mr. Busby. You can change that. Maybe you like it that way. I don't know. Maybe you love it. Maybe you don't. Angry Angel. Thank you for the smiley face. Thank you so much. Going to end the poll. I'll leave the pinned comment right there. Obviously, everybody likes longer live streams. Mr. Jamo, thank you so much. And I'm still curious. 7 days ago, someone did donation alerts. Then their channel, their name was Fire. And I know there's a few different fires that have their name on the YouTube here on the stream. So whoever the fire was, Firefly, Firefox, Fire. Too many fires. I don't understand the whole, but like for the charm. Thank you. Thank you so much. I know you've got it in 2 languages there, but it's okay. Julia. Thank you so much. Thank you, Julia. Здравствуйте. Очень приятно. Добро вечер. Spoki-noki. Now I'm showing you all the few Russian words that I know. I wonder, Mr. Plastic Russian, if you know Spoki-noki. Actually, Plastic Bold and Bankrupt used to say that as well, by the way. So maybe I shouldn't say it. It's basically just a polite way to say good night. So yeah, thanks everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It's now Sunday afternoon here at 4:17 p.m. Maybe it's Sunday morning where you are. If you'd like the lottery numbers, if you're in Sunday morning, you can put your ticket on before it wins. I can tell you the afternoon lotto results. Wouldn't that be the way to do it? That's how you pay for a kitchen. Oh, it's upside down. There we go. Huh. Yeah, my wife doesn't really love doing this idea because it's something, then we kind of want it more every time we stare at it. So that's why she told me to hide it in the bedroom here. So if I left it on the kitchen table, she'd be upset we can't do it as quickly as we'd like. So yeah, end stream. Bye, everybody. If you want to join me on Telegram, Traveling with the Russell channel and Traveling with Russell chat. Pretty much the chat's the most constant. There's people chatting, posting photos and videos all the time. Even when I'm not there, you'll meet somebody new from somewhere in the world. Thank you, Plastic Russian, for the clapping. Thank you so much, everybody. And I'll catch you on another live stream. Actually, a few hours from now, I would say about 3 or 4 hours, there'll be another video on the channel of me going to the Izmailova market, flea market. And I did a nice tour around there. So I think everybody will like that, I hope. And especially the anonymous person that sent a donation alerts 10 days ago. Please go to Izmailova Bazaar. And I've been there now and got the video done and finished. So that'll be on the channel tonight. Okay, bye, everybody. Bye.